Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Let's compare a eRide Pro SS 2.0, a Throne Srpnt Cookies Edition, which only has a couple slight differences from the normal Srpnt, but let's just compare everything because I have them here. We're still talking 19-inch tires, same type of crappy style mountain bike tires. They're okay, they're not that great. Let's take a look at the frames. As you can see, this frame is a lot more beefier. It's just a beefier frame. A lot beefier. You look at the eRide Pro, well, you judge. It's not that beefy, hence why it's lighter. Being a stronger bike is sometimes better, but sometimes people want lighter. So if you want lighter, it's not going to be as strong. It's more like a mountain bike. eRide Pro, you still have this silly stem, dealing with the mountain bike stem there, dealing with mountain bike type suspension. It doesn't matter if it's the Cookies or a normal Srpnt, you got a nice rigid mount to the triple clamp, you still got a stem, and you still got mountain bike suspension. Just wish they would do away with mountain bike components altogether, and I wish they would do the triple clamp setup like a motorcycle and just get rid of this. You do have a steering lock there. Not that that stops thefts, but it stops a rollaway theft. You know, somebody walks up and starts trying to roll your bike. As I showed over here, you still got a silly mountain bike stem type handlebar mount. So you do a light drop and it twists and it just twists whenever. Not a very good setup. And you can buy a rigid mount, but it doesn't cost, I can tell you because I know the prices, what we pay for these, and suspected what they pay for these. It wouldn't cost eRide anymore to include a rigid mount versus a steering stem mount. You do have some sort of holes right there, but there is no lock. But you got all those holes down there. I don't know, they could easily put it in a lock type unit. It looks like it's kind of set up for that. Don't know what's going on with that. Not a huge deal, but it is something that's silly that it's there when it doesn't even need to be there. That's just more weight, more stuff on your bike. The eRide Pro, you do have a USB charger right here. Kind of a little bit hard to get to. This little tab likes to go under the trunk, we'll call it, the battery cover. So you got a USB-C and a USB. So you can charge your phone as you're riding. That is kind of cool. I don't know how well that keeps water out of there, but that is pretty cool. On the Srpnt, you do not have that at all, but you do have the port right up under here, right there, USB-C, which it's pretty much all phones now, so you can plug your phone in right there to charge. On the eRide Pro, besides this, you do have a USB-C port on the side of the dash. So you do have one there under a rubber cover. eRide Pro, you have this style of headlight, which I think is pretty crappy, but I guess a lot of people seem to like this cheap bar style light. I think it looks stupid as hell. The Throne Srpnt, you actually have kind of like a moto style headlight setup. I just prefer this style, a real style headlight, versus that. But that's personal preference. You decide. The Throne Srpnt, you actually have dot 4, more like a motorcycle style brake master cylinder. You also have thicker coated stainless steel in their braided lines. That's the end of the comparison to a motorcycle. You still don't have a hard sleeve where it would be screwed on here and then a hard sleeve going up to a point up, say there, that would guide it and go up and down. It's still flexible. We're getting closer, but still not like a moto. The eRide Pro, we have just mountain bike component brakes, the sensor, the line that can easily be broken, goes down through 1, 2, and you have to direct it right, and you have to try these, and sometimes it still goes that way, touches the tire, wears through, and then leaks out all your mineral oil, because these are mineral oil brakes. Sadly, on both bikes, you still have the fat bars versus why not just design this to fit a pro taper motorcycle style dirt bike handlebar? Would make more sense to me, right off the shelf parts. The same here, it's a fat bar. I don't know, mountain bike components. I don't get it. On the Throne Srpnt, you do have a metal bracket unit that for the dash comes up, kind of protects it up here, comes here, it's all metal, cast aluminum. So that's a good thing. It's just that much sturdier. eRide Pro, unfortunately, is just some plastic legs on the display here that are flexible and spread out, go around, and then pinches to hold on. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I know the price point of both brands of bikes, and there's no reason why you couldn't have a better display mount on the eRide. One of the obvious differences between the bikes, the seat. We got a real style motorcycle seat. Some people don't seem to like dirt bike style seats. I don't understand that. I'm a dirt bike guy. That is awesome. It's pretty soft, it's comfy. That's not bad. Over here on the eRide, you got this weird seat. It's not a moto seat. It's not a bicycle seat. It's this hybrid thing that is okay. And then some people get them redone to where they're this like, kind of like old monkey bike style seats where they're like really thick. I don't get that personally. Again, that's just a personal preference. I think that looks like ass. But then again, I'm not a big fan of the looks of these bikes anyways. Another huge downside to the eRide Pro style bikes, or the Srpnts, is anything with the jack shaft. That is so not needed and so outdated, and it just robs power because you have a belt to here, turning a shaft, turning a chain, turning the wheel. You're losing a lot of power in all this. It's not needed anymore. Get rid of it. The Throne Srpnt, however, is direct drive. So it has a gearbox, goes to a chain, and it turns the wheel. Pretty straightforward. Makes a lot of sense. One thing the Cookies Edition Throne Srpnt versus the normal Throne Srpnt is the calipers. These are a lot bigger and a lot different, although still kind of like a bicycle style caliper. They are bigger, they are different, and those would not mount up over to a normal Throne Srpnt. Here's the normal Throne Srpnt caliper, as you see, just the typical brand you can get, a lot smaller. And I don't know if you can see back there the other one, it's just much, much different. I'll put my hand like that, from that bolt to that finger. And you can see right here, much different bolt pattern from tip of my finger all the way back. So much bigger calipers on the Cookies Edition, which is pretty cool. Still mountain bike style, but at least they've gone to really huge mountain bike style brake calipers. Still not moto, but that's going to be a heck of a lot better than you're getting on the eRide or the standard Srpnt. One of the cool things about the Throne Srpnts is the removable seat that reveals a little trunk. Personally, I don't know what you would put there, but it's something. You could, I guess if you can start getting these registered, you could put your registration there. You could put, some items. It has drain holes. Obviously dust, water could still get into there. But I guess you could put extra gloves, what have you, especially if you're just using this in the city type environment, it wouldn't get as dirty. On the eRide Pro, there is no removing the seat. There's nothing there. You're just wasting a lot of, I guess, space. There's a light, it's thin. It's probably why it's 30 pounds lighter. On the Throne Srpnt, another positive is the fact that it has an automotive style connector. You push that in, it lets you pull the handle up, otherwise it's locked in. You pull it up, you push like that, leverage, helps you unplug it, just like so. Oh, and note, there's no stupid breaker to mess with that looks like it's out of some third world country household. On the eRide Pro, you got this flimsy trunk that you flip up to reveal the battery. You got a silly, what I call a household breaker, turn it off, and then you unplug it by wiggling that and pulling it out and then disconnecting there. Not the best type of connector and setup. It works, but that's a lot better. Also, on the Throne Srpnts, you have this quick lever, kind of like on a bicycle wheel. On mountain bikes and bicycles, you can, take off the axle real easy. That's what this is. You can flip it up, but even with that flipped up, this bracket still won't come up. You have to push a button down there that is metal that will unlock it, and I probably can't do it with one hand. And also that would flip that way. You push that, there we go. And there we go. That lifts up like so. You would disconnect your connectors and you have a strap right here and you could pull the battery straight out. So I really like this because it keeps it from rattling around, kind of like the old Talaria MX3s and stuff, and you had to put the bag in there and what have you, silly stuff. Now the eRides don't tend to rattle either, so that's pretty good. It's just I like this as 100% secure, and I'll put that back together when I have two hands. So the Throne Srpnt headlight that I like a lot better, you got off, daytime, headlight, and then you got it's on brights, low beam, high beam, low beam, and you can flash. Or you can have it to daytime and you can flash, and it flashes both. So I like that. So you can totally turn it off, there, or off. I like it. The eRide Pro, all you have is on, off, on, off. Yeah, I don't really like that. I just don't like the looks of that or anything. It looks so cheesy. But hey, I guess kids are adding those to these style bikes. I don't get it. We wouldn't do that in the motorcycle world. So that is weird. On the Throne Srpnt, it's hard to tell with the light in here, but here's the gauge turned on. I think it shows a lot of information. You got miles, press the S, changes to kilometers, miles, M changes to trip, just a touch screen. So you got odometer and trip. I think that's pretty cool. The eRide Pro is, I guess, technically the display is bigger, but really that's blacked out to there, blacked out to there. So it's a small screen, but it is bright. It does have your trip, and you can go into a menu and see stuff. Hold the bottom button, it goes down. You use these to scroll through, set your time, your unit, what language, the wheel size, your sprocket size, and then what software update. So you got My Vehicle will tell you information. I don't like that it flips out of the screen really quick, but you can see your max speed, your real-time power, your accrued miles, and see then it times out 0. And if we want to go, let's say brightness, oops, go there, select, go down, say brightness level 2. There we go. And then let it go back. There we go. We turned down the brightness of the display because at night it would be pretty dang bright, so that would help. And yeah, I don't really know if you can do much more on the display on this one. No, holding those buttons, I don't get anything. Maybe if you have any Easter eggs of like pressing buttons. As a dealer, they don't even tell us this stuff, so we don't really know, except for playing with it. We play with it just like everyone else and we figure it out. I personally like the KKE forks and shock versus the RSTs. I think this has better components from the get-go than the E-Ride Pro. Personal preference, for some reason people like Fast Ace. I personally don't like Fast Ace. Once again though, we're talking about mountain bike components on a 130, 160 pound bike is just stupid for either of these. A thing the Throne Srpnt does have is it already has the wires for the blinkers, because you'll see here, blinker, when I turn it, it will flash green up here. I can cancel it like a motorcycle. I can do left, cancel, right, cancel. So that's pretty cool. It has all the wires run to the back. So there's wires back here already, and they're these style type of connectors. And there's two, when you take apart the cowl, the front headlight cowl, that there's two wires in there. So potentially you could go ahead and wire up some turn signals for those that want turn signals, and possibly in their state be able to get this plated. Some states, I heard you can do that. Both bikes seem to allow various Srpnt Light BX parts to fit, like the front rotor guard, the wheels, foot pegs, because I have the KKEs on here from the Light BX, and I have the rotor guard on this bike right there. Both of them can have that, and this one actually comes with a rear rotor guard. So does the normal Throne Srpnt. You got a tail light, you got this mud flap, but you don't have anything here. And then you got this silly short rear fender that allows mud to still flick up on your back. And yes, you can buy a longer fender, but why doesn't it just come with that? This is kind of like an electric mountain bike trying to be a dirt bike. This is a small dirt bike being a small dirt bike that you could still get away with using in the city if you live in an area that, I guess, allows it. It's still a dirt bike though. Still consider a dirt bike. So there we have it. That's some differences between the two bikes. Just figure I'd do that with the different calipers from the normal Throne to the Cookies edition. You all take care, stay well, stay safe, and enjoy whatever you buy. They're all fun to ride. Have a good one.